Oh man. Whew. All right, let's get focused. All right, guys. I'm having technical difficulties, but I gotta give you guys this heat. All right. I was gonna connect my screen, but I'm just gonna do what I can do just to get this out. All right. Stay tuned. This is some heat. All right. This is some important information that I think you want to know. All right. So I just spent another $50,000 on Bitcoin. All right. I was going to show you guys. I'll show you guys in another video. I want to break down why I'm doing that, and I want to break down how significant the opportunity is. All right. Because a lot of people don't know what Bitcoin is, don't know why the price is so high. There's a lot to talk about it, but I want to kind of give you guys some of the key pointers that'll get you started in understanding how significant of an opportunity Bitcoin is. All right. So I spent $50,000 on Bitcoin. I also spent $35,000 on Tesla. I'll show you guys that also and give my analysis on that going forward. Now, the purpose of this video, like I just said, is educational. I want you guys to see why it's important. Bitcoin is significant, why it's important. I'm not hearing everybody talk about it from the correct perspective. That's interesting to get you guys intrigued in a way that I think you should be. Yeah, so with no further ado, I'll get right into it. All right. So like I said, I spent $50,000 on Bitcoin. All right. So what is Bitcoin? All right. Bitcoin is pretty much digital gold. All right. And what's significant? It's digital gold, not physical gold like a golden block, but digital gold. All right. So in the United States, we use actual gold. Not in the United States, in general. In society, why is gold valuable? Gold is valuable because it's technically finite, right? It's very hard it's very hard to find, and it's very rare. All right. And with it being so rare and finite, it can retain a lot of value because you can't go find like crazy amounts of gold, which you can't go just randomly in your backyard, find a whole lot of gold and depreciate the value due to finding more amounts of gold. All right. So it's just a normal supply and demand idea here, right? If we say that, hey, this bottle represents all the gold that exists, right? All the gold that exists in the entire world, and you go and you say, hey, look, I went to another country and I found a whole nother bottle. So now we have double the gold. Well, as you know, the supply of gold is double, which means the value will be diminished in that case. The good thing about gold and why it holds value so well is because you cannot go and just find extra gold easily. But there is a problem. The problem is, even though you can't find it easily, we're finding new gold every day. All right. So gold isn't the best retainer of value because it's not finite, right? There's actually more gold to be found. We have a rough estimate of how much must probably exist. But at the end of the day, we always are finding more gold every day. And that's actually a problem when you're trying to find something that holds wealth and holds value extremely well. All right. So that's one thing. So that leads to my one important point about Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a finite amount of coins that exist and that will ever exist. Okay. The total amount of Bitcoin that will ever exist is 21 million. Okay. There are only 21 million Bitcoins that will ever exist, ever. All right. And this is very significant. Okay. I want to say that again. There's only 21 million coins. Now, think about this. Really think about it. Think about this, right? There are only 21 million coins that will ever exist. All right. Think about it. What's one of the most valuable assets on Earth? Earth. Land is. Land is one of our most valuable assets on Earth, and land always holds value extremely well because land, you can't create more land. You can't find more land for the most part. Actually, due to global warming, we're losing land. So land is one of the most valuable assets because it's finite. So Bitcoin is just the same way. There are 21 million coins. So really think about this. How many people are on Earth? Okay, this gets interesting, right? Because this is going to get interesting. All right. So how many people are on Earth? People. There are 7.674 billion people on Earth. 7.674 billion. There are only 21 million coins that will ever exist. Ever. So think about this, right? There are 7 billion people on Earth, 7.6. Really think about it. Because if you think about it, it's gonna hit. You cannot miss this. This is a big deal. 7.64 billion people on Earth. There are 21 million Bitcoins. Understand that every person does not even have the ability to own a Bitcoin. Think about this. It is impossible for every person on Earth to have one coin. Right? 21 million. There are 7.64 billion people on Earth. It is not possible for every person to have one coin. Even crazier than that thought. Almost no one, it's not possible for almost no one on Earth to have a Bitcoin. Ever. Check this out. Simple math. So I've already got my little calculator up. So there are 21 million people on Earth. Let's divide that by the 7.64 billion people. There are 21 Bitcoins that exist in total. And let's divide that by the 7.674 billion people on Earth. And let's understand how many people actually can ever have a chance to own one coin. One. What percentage of the population? 0.0027. 2,000th of 1%, not 2,000th of a percent of people, not 1%, but 2,000ths of 1% of the entire population will ever have a chance to own a single Bitcoin. And this is the reality we're dealing with. Understand. Why is gold so valuable? Because it's finite, but it's not actually finite from our position because we can find more. Okay? Are you following me? Do you see the opportunity? So what does this mean? What are you saying? What's the point? What's the point? What's the point? Do you understand that there will be a day when all Bitcoiners are consumed and owned? And do you understand that almost no one will own one Bitcoin? Do you know the significance of owning one Bitcoin? Everyone who owns one Bitcoin will be extremely rich. I don't know if you got to think about this, right? Bitcoin, there are 7 million people on Earth. 1,000th of a percent has a possibility to own Bitcoin. That's the max if we distribute it equally around people, across people. So what you're about to see is one of the biggest transfers of wealth that we've ever experienced over a period of time. That's what I believe we're about to see. If I'm wrong, we can come back and laugh at this video. If I'm right, we can come back and laugh at this video because I'm going to be laughing either way. All right. I'm pretty sure I'm correct. We've seen this before when it came to land, when people had the ability to start buying land in the United States. It was very easy to buy land, so easy that it seemed insignificant. It almost seemed like an insignificant asset. It was so easy to acquire. And that's kind of like how Bitcoin was in the early days. And it's still like that to me, in my opinion, once we realize what Bitcoin is. Once it's too late, people will be like, wow, it was that easy to get a Bitcoin. It was that easy, only $50,000, that's it. This freaking thing's worth a freaking, I'm not gonna put an exact number out there, but trust me, it's gonna be way freaking more than $50,000. Way more, all right? So with that being said, right, We've seen this before. Some of the richest people ever got rich when they were able to claim land for very cheap values, understanding that land is finite and the population will grow, but that doesn't mean the land will grow. Bitcoin follows some of the same methodologies and follows some of those same underlying principles. And with that being said, Bitcoin exposes a amazing opportunity. All right. Acquiring a Bitcoin is going to be impossible not too long from now. It's going to be freaking impossible because it's finite. There are only 21 million people that can have a chance to own one coin. But you also need to understand this. About 3 million coins are already ruined and they never can be recovered. So there are actually less than 21 million coins. There are more like 19 million coins. Because in the past, acquiring Bitcoin was so freaking easy that people thought they were insignificant to the point where they would mine the coins and some people even lost the Bitcoins in hard drives and they're freaking locked on the blockchain. Long story short, there aren't even 21 million coins actually that are in rotation. There are like 19 million that are going to be in rotation, which makes it even more scarce, which makes it even more of a valuable asset. So with that being said, guys, between all these Bitcoins being lost in that matrix of people not knowing they're significant and they lost those, and it being a finite currency, and the trust is gonna grow because the trust is gonna grow, all right? Once you start to have people who understand Bitcoin better, because I'm watching a lot of people that disagree with Bitcoin are not in the realms of technology. I'm seeing most people that are versed in technology very interested in Bitcoin and seeing it as a very great store of value. Take someone like Warren Buffett who disagrees with Bitcoin. I would expect that Warren Buffett made none of his money from being a tech mogul to no extent. Even though he has a huge amount of investments in Apple, I wouldn't necessarily follow his advice on future technology. I just wouldn't. All right. With that being said, guys, that's why Bitcoin is so freaking significant. That's why owning a Bitcoin is very important. And I just wanted you guys to see that and interpret that, because I'm not hearing that narrative be given out, and it's gonna make a lot of people regret, the day they look back at this and realize that, hey, I could have bought 100 acres of land for like $1,000. There are people looking back like, I could have bought 100 acres of land for $1,000. Yeah, it's gonna be like, I could have bought a Bitcoin for 50 grand. It's like $1 million asset. One Bitcoin is worth $1 million or something. So, with that being said, guys, if you like this content, please please subscribe, hit the notifications if you want to get the emails fast. Get the video notifications faster. And with that being said, guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm going to keep the heat coming. I had technical difficulties, so I couldn't show you the stuff I wanted to show you. But I'll keep, once I get all that worked out, man, I have the videos coming continuously. But worst case scenario, I'll get them out this way. All right, guys, peace. CJ out.